After being released from prison, Tekashi 6ix9ine has been able to garner a significant amount of recognition, particularly in the most recent month. Many more people are beginning to take an interest in Tekashi's personal life, particularly in relation to his fight with other rappers, as a result of the news that Tekashi's song Gooba, as well as his Instagram live counts, have both broken records. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at the 5 rappers who have beef with 6ix9ine. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. Number 5. Snoop Dogg. The number of rappers who are mounting the stage is not decreasing, and among them are quite a few who have already established a name for themselves in the industry. Snoop Dogg is, without a doubt, one of the most well-known rappers in the world. It's unlikely that any music fan hasn't come across the name of this fellow rapper by now, and it's common knowledge that he and Tekashi 6ix9ine are engaged in a bitter spat over creative differences. After Snoop had referred to Tekashi as a rat, the beef between the two began. Because the conflict had escalated to such a terrible level, he even attacked the media for portraying Tekashi in a favorable light in the articles that they published. Since that time, the two rappers have been engaged in a running spat, which was reignited not too long ago when Snoop responded to one of Tekashi's online rants about himself. It would appear that Snoop has not yet made up his mind to let go, and it has been hypothesized that the rivalry between the two will not be something that can be resolved so quickly. Number 4. Meek Mill. It appears that Meek Mill initiated the dispute with Tekashi by referring to him as a rat, which is consistent with the narrative that underlies the origin of most of Tekashi's feuds. Meek called out 6ix9ine as a snitch in his tweets, and of course, Tekashi isn't the type of person to just stand by and let someone try to diss him out. Since then, Tekashi and Meek have been engaging in an online brawl that has not yet subsided, and judging by the current state of things, it does not appear that this conflict will be resolved anytime soon. It is clear from Meek's tweets that he wants Tekashi to publicly apologize to the people whose lives were negatively impacted by his decision to snitch. Nevertheless, this is not the end of the situation. It would appear that Meek Mill holds Tekashi 6ix9ine responsible for the passing of Nipsey Hussle, and despite the fact that the current predicament does not appear to be particularly dire, Tekashi's beef with Meek Mill is one of those that lean toward the more severe end of the spectrum. Number 3. Chet Hanks. There are a growing number of rappers making their way onto the stage, and one of these rising artists is none other than Chet Hanks, who is Tom Hanks' son. Therefore, there are a lot of people looking at this new growing celebrity when he made the decision to strike against Tekashi. On his Instagram account, he had said things about Tekashi, such as he's not happy and he's living in terror, and of course, Tekashi had responded to these statements. The response from Tekashi caused quite a few people to be perplexed since, contrary to what many others believe, Tekashi had merely wished for Chet's father to make a rapid recovery. Since then, neither party has provided a further response. Nonetheless, it is abundantly evident that Chet is not on Tekashi's side, and there's a possibility that this dispute will escalate into a more severe conflict in the future. Number 2. Rich the Kid. Although it is generally known that famous rappers can make millions of dollars from a single contract, it's also common information that some rappers will always have some financial troubles that are somewhat difficult to cope with. So when Rich the Kid, despite his moniker, was being sued for not being rich enough to pay for $234,000 in jewels, Tekashi took up his roasting skills, which, wouldn't you know it, started a dispute between the two of them. Rich the Kid was being sued for not being rich enough to pay for his stuff. Since then, the two have been engaged in an internet quarrel, and much like most other feuds, it is possible that it'll take a significant amount of time, if any at all, to resolve this feud. This internet debate began sometime after Tekashi showed off his $1 million in cash and jewelry on his Instagram account. The comments have been going back and forth ever since. Number 1. 50 Cent. Due to the fact that Tekashi 6ix9ine and 50 Cent have been feuding with each other for a number of years at this point, we were unable to leave him off this list. There have been remarks made from both sides on the internet on occasion, but quite frequently, we find them beefing it up on social media at a later time. In point of fact, a recent example of their animosity occurred not too long ago when 50 Cent stated that he would never work with 6ix9ine. This occurred not too far from the beginning of 6ix9ine's sentence in jail. Tekashi later added a remark to his article in which he stated that this wouldn't be the first time that he had deserted his son. Tekashi 6ix9ine may have been referencing the fact that 50 Cent had deserted his eldest kid, Marquise Jackson, following a dispute with his baby mama, Shaniqua Tompkins. For those OG fans who are unfamiliar with this topic, let us explain. There was a time when 50 Cent stated that he would like to have Tekashi as his biological son. and in point of fact, the two rappers did develop such deep affinity with one another. It's a sad reality that some feuds ultimately succeed in tearing families apart, and this was one of those times. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.